Yeah, no, I mean, being here at West Point is bigger than, basketball. It's bigger than what we're trying to do from a team perspective. It's an honor to be here. When you talk about being a team and committing yourself to serving others, this is a perfect example of it. And so we're as much trying to build ourselves as a team by being here as we are the X's and O's and the strategy.
What did you want your players to learn today when they ate with the cadets in the mess for lunch?
I don't think we could begin to learn as much as these young men and women understand about sacrifice and efficiency, working together as a group. The attention to detail. It was an impressive scene, and so, for us, we were thankful to be there, appreciative that they allowed us into their space to see it and observe it. And then I think the energy from being there today was definitely on the court, and we got here for practice. I think guys appreciated, how hard it is to be a member of the U.S. Military Academy, and having fun playing basketball is light work.
So, when you look at this team this last year, it seems kind of skewed a little bit more towards the offensive side of the ball with some of the players and their strengths. What's the challenge, or how much of a challenge is there to make sure that you get the right combination of guys, so that if you have two guys that kind of play a similar position, that they're split up in a lineup, does it present challenges in terms of who you put out there as your starting five in this game?
No, I think for our team, it's I think a blessing to have 15 quality NBA basketball players. Basketball is a game that has to be played on both ends. You don't get to substitute guys that can play offense and then guys that can just play defense. And so there is a balance to it. But we have 15 guys that are capable of getting it done on both ends. Defense is really where the essence of teamwork is more apparent than even on the offensive end. I think there's a higher level of trust required to be a good defensive team without, having the basketball. So, when you put together starting five, bench rotation, all of those things are considered when you try and do those things. But, I consider it to be a gift to have a lot of guys to choose from, no matter which way we go.
Derek,
Say it again. No, today was more defense, but just the way our practice plan was put together, we got towards the offensive stuff, at the latter part. But today was still predominantly defensive orientation, understanding some things on the defensive end, covering some pick and roll coverages, and introducing a lot of how we want to play situations. And then we got back to some reviewing some offensive things we did last night, and that's kind of how we finished practice. But we finished with the defensive drill because part of our mindset will be that we have to finish every game with a stop. In order to close out games. We lost 15 games last season by 5 points or less. So if you can get stops at the end of the game, more of those games can go in your favor.
What you did in practice every day? How long was that process? Like, I want to do this till this day, and do you have it kind of all mapped out at this point?
No, that took a lot of work. That took the entire month of September to really kind of figure that out. Part of the challenge in the sense of having this opportunity to be here is that we only have the court at specific times. It's a long day. We wanted to also make sure that if West Point was gracious enough to allow us to spend some time with them, we wanted to fit that into the schedule. So some of it from a basketball perspective is limited, but it's important that we also develop some bonds as a team, and to see and be here at West Point, it's just a great example of what being a team is about. So it took a little more work, to try and figure out how to put the days together, but I think we're getting it done, and the guys are enjoying being in the gym together, and that's the most important thing.
How much teaching is there going on the defensive end versus doing drills and schemes?
They're both. We're teaching. We're doing the drills and activities we need to do to reinforce that teaching, and we're coaching them, during our activities, but at the same time, allowing them some space to figure out some things themselves. Coaches and coaching is not designed to provide all of the answers. There are things that players have to figure out for themselves. So we give them some basics, we give them an outline, how we want it done, and then we allow them within that to figure some things out as a group.
What are you hoping to get at? What are you hoping your team gets out of these few days? The experience and everything.
I think just understanding that we're part of a larger fabric of society, and that in the NBA sometimes we think in a bubble. We get so hung up on each win and each loss and who scored this many points and who played this many minutes. And I think being here allows us to take a step back sometimes, even as we're trying to become a team, just recognizing the importance of how other people really matter to your individual success. And so without those other people, you can't be successful individually.
Can you talk about?
You obviously played for Phil when they had Bynum and Gasol, and then Oklahoma City, you guys had traditional bigs. What's your philosophy, though, on the idea of, the league is kind of trending more towards small ball? Carmelo obviously played a lot of four last year. Do you have kind of a thought in mind as to the way you'd like to play that, or the way you see going with this team in terms of how they play?
No, I think that's another area where our versatility from top to bottom will allow us to play any style we choose to. Our system is designed for all five players to play all five positions. So at times we can put lineups on the floor where all five guys can get it done on the offensive end. We can play small, we can play big. Most teams have gone in that direction just to try and find penetration. And a lot of teams weren't fortunate enough to have Shaquille O'Neal and Kyle Gasol and Andrew Bynum and Lamar Odom and even great perimeter players like Kobe Bryant to play in this system that anchored the team. We have a number of those guys here. So our penetration won't come off pick and roll as it does 98% of the league, but it'll come off interior passes. And we have a lot of guys that we can put on the post to get penetration.